So there's an article out of Engadget, and it's dated August 29, 2019, titled "The FTC is reportedly investigating Juul's teen marketing tactics." Just another thing to add to their issues that the Juul is facing. So as Juul is facing, I'll make this a little bit bigger for you. Juul is facing yet another investigation. This time, the Federal Trade Commission is looking into the company's marketing practices. It will decide whether Juul used deceptive marketing, including targeting minors and using social media influences. The FTC may seek monetary damages. Now, I'll just say as a side issue, all this stuff that's coming after, they're coming after Juul. Now, I'm not saying this at all in defense of Juul, but possibly, Juul's going to try to do their PMTAs, submit them to the FDA by May 11th, 2020. And let's say all of this stuff that's going on against Juul, of course, it takes time for it to be processed, so it may not very well conclude by May 11th, 2020. But if these situations that are against Juul right now wind up favoring Juul, that is, they come out on the winning end of things, can very well help them in getting their particular vaping products approved by the FDA. Just want to say that as a side note, something that I thought about. I thought I'd share that with you. Of course, the timing would probably be off. So if none of this goes in favor of Juul, which probably it will not, Juul is going to have an extremely difficult time getting their PMTAs and a submission to the FDA approved of as they, start to submit these products by May 11th, 2020. It says the FTC investigation has been going on since at least September, but this is the first it has been reported. The Food and Drug Administration is also investigating the company and has faced scrutiny by the House and Senate. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's just a little titty bit that you get on this channel you don't get on the Jacob Clear channel. That channel is strictly for, let's say, this much in the name of clarification, what every American vapor ought to know. And there's one other thing that I do. Can't remember. Let me bring it up. And also FDA complaints, if it's mainly to do with pod systems, things of that nature, or e-liquid being sold to those under the age of 18. So I just want to share this little thing with you. So Juul is having a lot of trouble right now. They're being investigated by the FDA, being investigated by the FTC. There are plenty of lawsuits against them. They got state attorney generals that are investigating them. It is, Juul has a lot on their platter. I mean, they're spending tens of millions of dollars, which are adding up to hundreds of millions of dollars on legal fees, on lawyers to defend the company. By the time it's all said and done, by the time their first quarterly Securities Exchange Commission report comes out in January to March of 2020, it'll list how much they spent for legal fees. I bet you it's going to top at least $500 million by the time everything is done and said. Maybe not $500 million, probably more like probably about a good over $100 million in just legal fees. Not that they don't have the money, it's just that I'm sure they would prefer to spend their money on something else. Anyway, I just want to share this with you. Let you guys go. Bye bye.